Holy crap, dude. Have I been living under a rock? I didn't think Total Drama would still be going on these days. I'm quite impressed to say the least. How many new casts competed at this point? Like 7? Anyway, it's definitely reassuring to talk about the different experiences I've had throughout the years. There's been some ups and downs for sure. Despite the injuries and pain the show caused, I truly wouldn't be where I'm at today without the exposure. I guess that's the pros and cons with signing contracts and being on reality TV trying to win $1 million. Survival of the fittest is what most people would call it these days. Well then, there's a bunch to unpack here. So first things first, there's definitely been some negotiating between Chris and the network. After all these years, I've finally figured out the formula to this entire fiasco. Drama plus injuries caught on live television equals entertainment. Entertainment plus mental manipulation equals boost of ratings. It's no wonder why Chris has been the host this entire time and not anybody else like Blaney or Chef. For one, the only time Chef really had the chance to shine was season 1. I guarantee you if I asked everyone if they remembered Master Chief, they'll immediately remember the basic straining episode. I say all this to say that Chef was just basically Chris's assistant. That explains why he was so desperate to form an alliance with DJ. It just goes to show that this whole show was corrupted, even from the start. It sucks that I'm just talking about this 16 years later, but it's good to point out because people will at least be aware of what's been going on. That said, there's been a couple of people who started catching on a lot earlier, like Heather, Duncan, Courtney, and even Lindsay. The only issue was that he was protected by the network executives, and once you interfere with their business, they'll slap you with a lawsuit in an instant. So with different people getting injured, including myself throughout the seasons, and even what happened to Zeke, Chris basically was invincible and wouldn't be held accountable despite the challenges we were forced to do. Obviously, there were challenges where the losing team would send someone home, and the other challenges would be for rewards. But it's way different when you're forcing us to find different items in the forest where there's wild animals and even a killer on the loose. Gwen was so brave that night. Then again, she was into that kind of stuff, so it didn't faze her a whole lot. Anyway, I have no grudge against the man. Sure, the challenges were dangerous. I mean, this is $1 million big ones we're talking about. But we can all agree that Chris was pretty down to earth and at his best first season. It's sad what money and income can do to your character, though. After the pain I endured, mentally and physically, there was no chance I had any desire to participate in future seasons. Oh, and don't even get me started on the whole love triangle situation. It was the biggest form of betrayal overall. Even though we're grown adults now, I sometimes still think about why the decisions were made in the first place. Makes you wonder what you lacked back then, you know? Ever since I was obsessed, I instantly knew I lost Gwen. Which brings me to my next point, actually. Most would assume that when she made her return to All Stars, she came for Duncan, right? Wrong. She even said the only reason she came back was to make things right with Courtney. Little do people know, she's really the only real friend she's ever had. I sure didn't see it, but she must have saw something in her that just made her go so hard. Truth be told, we actually started rekindling things during that season. Then Duncan pretty much did what I did in action. Became totally obsessed and losing frame. Pretty wild how the tables turn, don't they? Chicks were always changing like the weather, but in all fairness, I was a total nut job. Speaking of nut job, there's been a couple that been on my mind throughout the years. I wonder what they could be up to. Let's see. The last time I was with the guys was a few months back when we had our album release party. Then soon after that, I caught up with Jeff for a bit. Then just 2 weeks ago, Gwen and I were on a double date with Duncan and Courtney. I guess I haven't fell off the face of the earth completely, but there's still some that I haven't seen in ages. I sure wonder if Eva ever controlled her anger, or if Bridget ever became a professional surfer. I seriously gotta do better with checking on people. Oh, you guys wanna hear a snippet of my new single in the album? Yo, editor, could you do me a solid and pull up a snippet from Never Leave Me? You guys are gonna love it. What the? Bro, I said snippet, not the exclusive pre-order cover, you idiot. You had one job. One. You know what? Just get out of here. You're fired. Yeah, so besides that, life's been pretty sweet. I've actually got a surprise for you all, but I'm gonna let baby girl tell you all what it is. Hey, Gwen, you can come in now, sweetie. Tell the people the big news.
Yeah, no. Can't let the audience know our secrets just yet, babe. They'll know when we make our appearance on Jeff and Bridget's Aftermath show.
Oh, crap! How did I forget that? Well, you heard the woman correctly. No more info until we make our appearance. Sorry, guys, but in all fairness, my editor did spoil the moment. But I promise the wait will be worth. Till then, see you on the Aftermath show.